Welcome to this screencast on refactoring, and the code we're going to look at is from chapter 14, and they're on queries, and specifically the query about employee raises. Refactoring in a nutshell is the idea of reorganizing your code so it is more efficient and is well organized, and every piece is kind of put in its proper box, but at the same time it functions exactly the same it did before you started tinkering with it. So with that said, let's take a quick look at the raises code, and you'll see at the beginning this is with all the exercises. We're going to have some HTML at the top, and that's a header. That's something that's repeated every time. So again, the thing you're going to hear is don't repeat yourself. And so we're going to want to get rid of this and where we can recall it again. And then we also have some stuff at the bottom, some code at the bottom that we can do. So first, let's put this all in a folder, and let's call that folder includes. And then we're going to have a header and a footer. So I'm going to put them both in here at this time. So let's make a file called header.php, and we'll make another one called footer.php. So now, all we have to do is go back to our raises, and let's cut out that HTML at the top. And let's put it in header. And then we'll worry about the footer in a moment. Let's save that and go back to raises. Now we need to call that, right? So we're going to use include once. And it's in the includes folder. And the name of the file was header. So let's save that, and let's go ahead and run that, and I'll refresh this page. This is the output. Everything seems to run nicely. It did bump it down a touch. We'll have to investigate that later. That takes care of the header, but what's another thing we could do with the header? Well, one is, let's take a look at it. When we come back here, this right here says MySQL query. We want that to say raises, and that is in the title section of the HTML. So let's go back and see what we can do with that so we can, again, reuse this over and over. So if that's called title, and we look at the header, what we have here is our title tag, and we can take this code here. I'm going to copy some and paste it in. All right, and this allows us to reuse this over and over, and we just pass it a page title, depending, in this case, what the exercise is. So this will be a variable called page title. In this case, let's reorganize this a little so it's using camel case. Now we have the title, and then we have something new here. This is a PHP short tag, and that's the same as using the regular PHP opening tag plus echo. And so it would be echoing out the page title. But we can use this shortened version here, and that's nice and clean and easy to read. So we'll save that. Now let's go back to our raises, and we'd put in the variable name. And in this case, raises. All right, let's save that and run it and see how it looks. Refresh that. So you'll see MySQL query now becomes raises up here, and that looks nice. All right, so that takes care of the header. Let's take care of the footer. Down here at the bottom, right now we just have a body and an HTML. I'm going to cut that out and put that in footer. Not a lot there, so maybe we can make this a bit more interesting, and we could perhaps put in updated by and a date. So let's go ahead and do that. Paste this in. And we haven't talked much about the date function. I'm going to invite you to look it up in the manual so you can see all the different formations of date and output from it. This is going to just put a month, day, and year for us. So let's save that. And again, you can see we've got the HTML small tags there. So let's add our include. And tuck that in so it looks nice. Now refresh it, and now we get the footer. Again, we can reuse that over and over. All right, so that's this screencast, and then we'll move on to some more refactoring in the next one.